I always like push myself to create bad stuff because that's when the great shit happens.
And this is AndreasTalksArt. Each episode we'll be sitting down with various artists discovering the triumphs and failures of their creative pursuit. If you enjoyed this episode, share with one of your friends. Let's do this thing.
Fuck you, Andreas. No, I'm kidding.
I'm Andreas, and this asshole's Abdil.
What's up? I am an asshole. Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, I still love you though.
Same, bro.
But I have to keep it real with you.
You gotta keep it real, bro. You gotta keep it real.
But this is
so wait, what are we doing right now?
This
Where
is
am I at?
episode 1 of AndreasTalksArt.
Oh yes, the newest podcast to hit your ears.
Yes.
Is this video and your eyes? Because
whatever. Hit all
it's gonna be both.
All your senses. We might do scratch and sniff later on.
Scratch? Okay. That sounds fun. I have no clue what that is, but I'm down. I'm down to figure it out.
Yeah, so basically I decided to start a new podcast because I don't like Abdil anymore and I don't want to do Puff Puff podcast with him.
I'm a nuisance. I'm dead weight. I'm a piece of shit, honestly. So, if you see me, just punch me in the face. Nah.
Okay. So, here's what happened. What happened?
So, look, I'm personally, like, there's some things I'm planning to do with my life just because one day I woke up and was like, yo, I don't... Not that I don't see where I'm at right now working out, but there's got to be a shorter process, a shorter way.
Yeah.
Not an easier way, but a shorter way of doing the same thing.
I got to put my gloves back on.
Oh, it's cold as shit in here. We're in the garage, like it just snowed 10 inches last night.
Yeah.
But just because like, I see myself, it was more like we've been talking like 10 years.
Right.
But right now we live in a house that we have to rent a room, live with other people, not a lot of space. So it's like, all right, how can we get to a point where both of us can 10 years from now be like, yo, what are you doing? Hey, come through. We can do some projects and have space. Because I would love to have my own house, have my own studio.
Yeah.
Just my space to work.
I mean, clearly we had to fucking renovate a garage basically to set up a makeshift studio.
And people were not happy with it, but whatever. So yeah, and then I talked to you because Puff Puff Podcast was just kind of last year. We both just wanted to work on. We had been, when we first met, obviously moved in. We were talking. We both figured out like, yo, you're into something that is similar to what I like, and that we can collab. But I think Puff Puff Podcast was like the first thing. It was like, all right, let's start collabing. Let's start working together.
Yeah.
And it was fun as hell. It was fun, and it is fun because it's not. I don't feel like it's dead per se, but because whenever I finally move out and we're separate in our separate ways, like it could be a way for us to still catch up and say, hey, what are you doing now? Like a little, like what puffing is, you know, or smoking is. It's just chilling with your homies, talking about whatever. But I don't know about you, but it just didn't. Podcasting is hard.
Oh yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, that was the crazy part about Puff Puff is like we started it on such a whim. Like both of us just wanted to create stuff, and we're like, yeah, this podcast allows you to do video and camera shit, and me to do graphic and art shit, but no plan. And because of that was the cool thing about it, because we did every single type of episode. We interviewed people, we did random rants, we did stuff about like current events, we did topics, we talked about like cereal. We had like every different kind of podcast episode you could do.
It was a stoners podcast. Like,
yeah,
we don't know what we're talking about. We're talking. That's it.
Which was like crazy because the whole time, like, you and I were both just like coming up with new ideas. Like, we should do this. Like, yo, what about this? And just kept adding like different stuff to it.
But it was just too much. Like, sometimes when you're cooking food, you can put too much seasoning. You only need the right amount of toppings, seasonings, whatever.
Yep.
And yeah, dude, we just kept having, because we both had ideas.
I think what happened is we brought Tage on and it got way too spicy. Got way too spicy, way too fast.
Yeah, it's damn freaking paneer curry. Yeah, it's just, yeah, no.
Yeah.
If I eat that, I can't leave the house. I'll be stuck here. But yeah, bro, it was just a lot, and I felt overwhelmed too, personally, like, just because, like, man, I don't know. And then we had put a lot out. I mean, there's a lot of episodes out right now, and I was just like, man, why is it not clicking?
Yeah.
Not clicking. And shout out to Amadou, because he gave us a tip, like, you guys need to focus on something.
Dude, Amadou is a realist. He'd literally come in and be like, you guys are shit. Like,
it's not like your intro, but
your intro hypes it up, everything else is shit. I'm like, damn.
And not that he had a point, but he kind of had a point in terms of, like, what are you guys talking, like, what is it about? Who is this for?
Yeah. I mean, he was the only one who I feel like really critiqued it, you know? Which is cool.
Yeah. And I don't know, and that's why one day you and I talking in the kitchen, because I think for a while both of us were thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But we never really talked about it. So when we finally talked, it's like, bro, I think this was a huge learning experience.
Yep.
And we both were like, man, we should maybe try to make our own podcast that are geared towards more specific topics. Right. Because, you know, with Puff Podcast, the topics we were going to do,
well, that's a big part of the critique Amadou was saying is, like, what's it about? And it was about, like, nothing, because it was about everything. And then with me, like, what happened with me is this light bulb moment after hearing Amadou say that, was like, oh, like, what can we make it about? And, like, something I could talk about forever is art. And with talking about art, like, I could also, like,
that's what you
market it towards, like, or target to people who like art, you know? Mm-hmm. And, like, why wouldn't I want to, like, that's dope. That's cool as shit, you know? And you with, what would you want to do?
So, I'm currently, because it's, like I said, Puff Podcast was such a learning experience. And I told people, like, podcasting is hard.
Well, we were trying to do 2 videos a week, which, like, we didn't even realize was going to be crazy as fuck.
I remember you told me how this dude hit you up, or you hit this dude up, and he asked you how many episodes you're putting out.
Yeah, his podcaster, yeah.
Yeah, and you said 2, and he's like, oh, shit, damn, all right.
2 episodes a week.
And we both were like, that's not a lot. Psych.
He was like, are you guys doing that by yourselves? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, dang, like.
Good luck.
Right?
He had a point.
Yeah.
But it's just more like, so, for example, we had some segments in podcasts where, like, for example, bro, I have a question I feel like ties in with your podcast about art, this podcast about art. Because it's like, I have a question.
Right.
And you ask people a question about their art.
Yeah.
And then we had another segment on what we wanted to do, but it's a lot about, like, different forms of entertainment, movies, video games, whatever. Yeah. And that's something I'm, like, into.
Yeah.
And you guys will see, like, Andreas will mention it in future episode, but, like, I'm into older stuff. So it's like, all right, what can we do? But still be able to work together and because, like, I'm tired of y'all asking me, what happened to Podcast?
It's also cool though, like, it's random, like,
it's respect.
It's not sure, like, who knows about it or who's, oh damn, battery low.
Battery low. Oh well, we still got the audio, bro.
Yeah, we still got the audio. All right.
You should just make some graphic shit over this.
Yeah.
It's an art podcast, right?
The Puff. Bring back the Puff.
I guess, yeah, dude. I mean, it's an art podcast, so.
But yeah, man, it was the biggest learning experience. Like, definitely, like, I realized, like, bro, I have a question was the most fun to do, and I also liked interviewing too, and so that's what I kind of wanted to mash mine up into.
Yeah. And then gear it towards what you like,
something I'm interested in.
Yeah. It becomes so much easier that way. But yeah, dude, because people, like, I'm family asking, friends asking, like, Russ asked us when we were in Moab. I was like, damn, all right, look. are you guys still cool? Like, yeah, we're cool. Like, we're more than cool. Like, we're still
Cool as
working
shit.
together, and we got projects coming.
Shout out. We got, this is already out, but you guys, if you haven't, check out the Dirty Hairball. It's
coming soon. Puff Podcast, learning experience, and just seeing where am I going to be in next years. I want to grow. And not that Puff Podcast can't grow, and it didn't have potential. It was just more of, if this is the only thing keeping me grounded and not chasing opportunity that has presented itself to me,
yeah,
then that's silly.
right.
It's not. It shouldn't keep you from chasing opportunities.
Yeah, you can't let it hold you back.
No, and not that it was holding me back. No, it's just more of, not holding.
That's right, kids. Puff, that'll hold you back. That'll hold you back in life.
No, it's just more like just reaching your potential because you want to make the best.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to be able to be successable, man, with what we're doing.
No, it's the pursuit, the process. You just try shit, see if it works, and then move on. You try new shit, bro.
And so, I gotta ask you a question.
All right.
What's like? How'd you come up with the idea of this? Like, what's this? What's this show? What is this?
Andreas Talks Art, bro. It's everything.
I mean, it's literally you just talking art. Or
we
what?
were saying, like, where I came up with it was just doing Puff and realizing I like doing podcasts. Like, I listen to podcasts probably like 40 hours a week at least, bro. Because I listen at work all day. I'll listen to it at home and stuff, like driving around, like. And I really enjoyed listening to them. And then after making one, I was like, oh, damn, I even like making them. And it kind of ties in with everything I do, going back to why you and I started, like, Puff, being able to have this outlet for me to create and...
Just talk about whatever.
Yeah, and then doing Puff and realizing there was no real theme or real, like... It was just kind of like just something we started on a whim. There's nothing like, there's no topic, you know?
Yeah.
And then knowing that art was something I could just go off about, I also, having listened to podcasts, realized through creating podcasts about art, I would be able to just talk to different artists. And that was another thing that got me excited. So there was just all these different things that got me excited about it.
Yeah.
And just being able to, not only for me, myself, to talk to artists, but because I love, like, not only creating stuff, but, like, putting stuff out and seeing how people like or don't like it, you know? That's all part of the art, you know? Seeing how it interacts with the world. So creating this podcast... You don't care what they think.
You don't care what they think, but you want to see how they react.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because if you only care about what people think about your stuff, that you're only going to make stuff for them and not for you.
Right.
And that's, especially in the podcast world, you can hear when people are genuine, when they're real, and they're being true to themselves.
Yeah, it's super intimate. And that's, like, what I like about it is the intimacy, the deep conversations, and it's something I knew I would like to talk to different, not just artists, but creators, whether they're photographers, videographers, animators, like, musicians, whatever. And I know if it's something I would like to, there's other people like me who would like to listen to. So people like you, people who are on the pursuit of creating something and trying to make something out of it.
Yeah.
And just talking to people to figure out where they're at, where they're going, and talking art, bro.
It's crazy. People think everything people do is just for fun, but there's a lot more behind why people do certain things, you know? So yeah, bro, like, people... No more asking us why Papa Podcast hasn't come out yet or released, in a while. Is because, we're thinking 10 years in the future. We're trying to, and it's not, I won't say it's dead personally, but
yeah, I mean, I love everything about, like, Puff. Like,
it was fun,
it's epic, bro.
It was fun. Like, yeah, dude. But yeah, and now we're here at Andreas Talks Art. Like,
yep.
I'm excited to see how this grows.
No, for sure. So, like, yeah, bro, with the show, it's just going to be me and a guest, all different pursuits of art and creativity. I'm going to be doing them every other week. But yeah.
Excited.
This will be episode number 1. This will be the start. And
Número uno. Check it out.
Yeah.
Eins.
You did a little interview of me. Yeah, we're still working on a bunch of stuff, but it's all under wraps, and it's soon to just, like, that blanket. I feel like we're just going to, like, wave that blanket and unveil everything, bro?
I guess I'm going to have a question for you just to transition into the interview. What are you excited about? Like, Where do you see this podcast going?
I'm just excited about this in general. Like, with what I want out of it is to really just have conversations and learn and grow, whether this podcast grows into something or it just helps me out, which through helping me out, I can share it with people and hopefully help out other people. But really deep down inside, the goal is to help me, because like I know if it'll help me out, there's someone else that can help out. And I just want to like keep conversations like this going, because we got an episode with you coming up, bro.
That was a blast. Like,
it was fire.
That was a blast.
Yeah, and I just want to keep doing stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I'm hyped to be on more. But,
yeah,
I mean, yeah. This is episode 1. We can't do more until episod 1. So yeah.
Yep.
Let's hear this interview.
Get it. Let's talk some art.
How do you get it so good?
You gotta like cup it, like cup. Cause it's like a pocket. You don't.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
This is like a bunch of clapping.
Okay.
Take 1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
What you got?
Like, why'd you get into this?
What's this?
Art, like doing. Like, why did you get into doing all this creative stuff?
You think
like,
this was a choice?
So much,
No, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you can like. So I can formulate my question. And I'll ask. What were you going to say?
I was just saying. You think this is a choice?
So you're saying. So okay. No, I get it.
Okay, no, keep going.
No,
I was just.
Okay. It's like why are you into all this creative stuff? Especially when like it's such an oversaturated market. Like what draws you? Like is it just a choice you made? Like I like this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a choice really. Like, there was a point where I liked it for sure. You like how it started. It just was something that's kind of always been a part of me. I've always been doodling and drawing and just really rearranging my environment. That's how it started. Just my favorite games, bro, were things like The Sims or something where you could create your own character and just like manipulate your world, and that just fascinated me so much. And then through art, I was like, oh shit, I can manipulate everything around me and create my own world. Like this room right here is something we created. This was not a room before we were here. And that just fascinated me. And through just always being something that I was striving for, whether it be like the games I play or how I look at things, how I would see shapes in trees, looking at bark, seeing different creatures or up in the clouds or different patches of grass and forming it into things in my mind. It's always been something that I do. So I don't know, it's this interest, but it just keeps building because I just never stopped. I never stopped being interesting. That's the thing, because it was my imagination and it kept getting crazier and weirder as it went on, you know, because I kept growing and like expanding what it could be, you know. So it just always fascinated me, and that's a big part of what pushes me to keep creating and making new things, is not knowing what it's going to become.
I feel that, bro. Yeah, so like, okay, so you don't know what's gonna become, and you just start like because you love it. Right?
Yeah.
So, but what about those moments where it's you don't really love it as much and you lose? Like,
yeah.
We all have like, bro, we all have those moments where we don't want to do what we like to do.
Oh
it
yeah.
becomes a chore.
Yeah.
So, what about that? Like, what keeps you going? What keeps you from going? Nah, screw this, bro.
I mean, dude, everything, it becomes a chore. It becomes annoying. It becomes frustrating. It becomes aggravating. it just kind of like plays tricks with you because it's all like your mind, and this part of you tries to tie yourself to this thing, but I was trying to detach from my pieces and know that there's something I'm creating and not actually me, and that helps me just create and not allow it to actually hurt who I am. But like that's all part of it. Like I have so many pieces just sitting around that I'm not happy with, and like no, I need to like do something to change it up to where I can work on it, but you get stuck. And the thing I've come to realize is you can get blocked and not want to create, but really what it is just not being afraid to create bad stuff. And I always like push myself to create bad stuff because that's when the great shit happens. If you just like, it's not like just doing constant like bad shit all the time. Like you're always trying to progress and get better, but if you're not allowing yourself to create bad stuff ever, then you're really like holding yourself back. So I've come to terms with it. Like it's still like there's points where it eats at me and like I'm frustrated and don't know, like I just leave pieces sitting around for a while. But you have to like, you kind of have to sometimes because that's art, bro. You can't put a timeline on all of this. Like there's different spectrums to all of this. Some projects you work on to completion to get them done, and some things are never going to be finished, not even like till you die. Like they're going to go past you, like, because that's just how this works. Like art becomes a snowball effect where one thing you do has this greater effect that you can't understand. You can get the most random video clip ever just by having your phone record for like, or your GoPro, just leaving it on and just get gold. Like, and it totally changes everything. So it's all about the little things that create the big thing. And yeah, really, I don't know. Allowing yourself to make shit work sometimes. Being okay with it.
Yeah. So like I could definitely tell like that you take this serious. Like I can tell how you were speaking and I relate, bro. Like so like what's your advice to people that want to do this and really haven't started? Because I know for me personally, I remember when we posting once a month, and you're like, dude, you gotta post more and more.
Yeah.
And so like, what's your advice, like people that are like, I'm just not good enough, I'm not gonna try. Like what do you think they should do?
It's tough. It's there's a lot that goes into it. It takes a lot of time, and I think it can be intimidating. That's why it's hard to start off sometimes. It can seem like daunting, or just, the thing is, as an artist, turning your art into, if we're saying like turning into like your living or your career, that becomes art itself, because you have to decide how to price your pieces and how to grow and expand that. And pricing art is so different than anything else, and the business really becomes an art piece itself. And with that, what you really have to do is just like try it and see what works for you. And some stuff's not going to work out and other stuff will, but you have to really just keep learning. And a big thing I feel is connecting with others and working on projects with different artists, maybe people who have the same styles, different styles, using different mediums, and branching in. And through that allowed me to understand that everyone who's doing this is in the same mindset, and we're all just trying to figure this out. And no matter how far along people are, there's still unknown territory they're trying to get into. Everything is perspective, and everyone feels the same fear and anxiety about moving forward and growing, no matter like what level they're on. So the more you like connect with people and understand the community, you understand how to become a part of it.
Nice, yeah. No, I agree, bro. Like, definitely the more you do it, the more people you meet. So, with that being said, I mean, since, let's just put a date. 2020 is about to end. Thank the Lord Jesus. So, compared to January 1st.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you think, you've progressed? And how your creativity has led you to, grow within your community. Like, expand on that. Like, how is this year, especially with all the circumstances, like, it's been hard as hell, like, to even meet anybody, and...
Yeah. It's been a trip, but dude, this year's been pivotal. It's been insane. I got my work in a gallery for the first time ever, and through that met so many people and made so many different connections, which was super cool during this time and everything going on. Just having people in the art community, like similar-minded people, and just being able to connect, and through that met people who I could collab and work on art with, which is awesome, and that has helped me progress so much. Yeah. I don't know, bro. It's kind of cold. I'm starting to shake when I'm talking.
So I guess one last question. Because I'm freezing too. I got shorts on. But 10 years, bro. What's Andreas does art in 10 years? What's he going to be doing then?
He's still going to be doing art.
That sums it up. Let's go inside, man.
Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Andreas Talks Art. Don't forget to leave me a review. It helps me improve the show. And if you got anything out of this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you shared it with one of your friends. Till next time, we out. Just an intro for the very first episode of Andreas Talks Art.
Okay. All right. Because I was going to ask you, I feel like, I don't know, like next time I'm on or whatever, we should address, because I'm tired of people asking about Puff Puff Podcast.
We can do it right now.
Oh, I don't know how long this is going to be.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter since the thing's only 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. That's why I was wondering. All right.
Yeah, we can do whatever now.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to address because people keep asking.
I know.
I think someone asked me are you and Andreas still cool? I was like,
we should pissed off at each other.
Yeah,
dick.
No, I'm starting off like this. Go ahead, record the recording.
Yeah, it's recording.